Hi, my name's Jo Paul and I'm an artist, and I have been in the past a set and costume designer, quite often for Spare Tyre, and I'm a facilitator in drama and the arts.
When was the first time you heard about Spare Tyre?
They asked me to design their 20th anniversary party, which had a purple and pink theme, and I made these massive beanbags, one with a 2 and one with a 0, so one was a massive donut, and various other, lots of glitter. I remember lots of glitter.
Yeah.
Purple tablecloths, I think.
So after you discovered them, what was the journey after that?
So after the party, I don't actually remember the order of things, but at some point they must have asked me to come and run some workshops in design. So for some reason they trusted me to do some design work. And I worked with a group of people with adults with learning disabilities. I think either yearly or regularly. I just carried on from there, working and doing the shows until you came along. And then we did some more.
We did a lot of shows together, and there was a lot of learning. And in fact, I think we almost defined a practice.
I think we did.
Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, you, me and Julia.
Yes.
So we had drama and the direction from you, the sound and the music from Julia, and then the visual from me. I think we worked quite a lot with shorter stories within bigger stories, so that anybody's individual skill area or desire in where they wanted to act or whatever story they wanted to explore could be there, but was part of a whole. And I think it was that we were keeping an eye on, so the design could keep it as part of the whole, your direction could keep it as part of the whole, and the sound and music did that too. But also all those things helped to trigger them, and direct them and remind them and all those things, wasn't it?
Which was critical, wasn't it?
It was.
Which was an interesting device that we started to use increasingly, that all those visually or through sound, that we were actually beginning to use those as triggers. Yeah. Because actually we didn't want to be on stage with them.
No.
We didn't.
That was quite new at the time, wasn't it?
That was very new, that it was just them who would be performing on set.
That was quite new at the time. And I think we were very definite about that and very excited about that.
We're also feeling that actually there's a bit of regression going on.
That could be
with
true.
With the community, with the LD community.
Yeah,
you know, so all those steps that we made to forge ahead, there is a little bit of that going on. I think there's a sense of that around. Yeah. Can I ask you on the back of that work with the community, did you regard yourself as a disabled artist?
I think at the time back then, I was very much exploring that. I think I was exploring it as a political label, and that was really important to me. And it was always that question about disabled artist who's disabled, disabled woman first, artist first, disabled first. Which one comes first? So yeah, I did definitely identify as a disabled artist. I think my journey has grown through the years, so that I don't feel like I need to shout it anymore. And if I do get asked to, I feel a bit odd about that, because I just do what I do. But I just don't find it an important label to put at the front of everything anymore. And
is the politics in the arts important for you?
I think it is important. It's important to maintain it. I think the younger artists that are coming up are a little different in how they approach it. That's what I've been observing. They are a bit more, this is my right, just get on with it. Rather than, I need to shout about it and wave flags about it. They're just assuming, which is great, I think. Obviously they're going to have battles on their hands sometimes, but they think in an equal way, which is great.
Where are we when it comes to disability and the arts and having a voice, actually? I
think that participatory arts is crucial, because there's always people who aren't exposed to that equality or that social model, who've never heard of it. You know, there's so many people who've never heard of it who you'd think would have heard of it. It's really frustrating. So there's still, loads of work to be done.
If I was to ask you, for you, what were the top 3 pieces of work or shows that you've done with Spare Tyre? What would they be?
What was the one we were just talking about in the office with the lift and the lamp?
That was Dark Ink.
Dark Ink, that's it. I loved that show.
Dark Ink.
I loved working on that show, and I loved making all the little gizmos and models, and we made a severed head, didn't we, and all sorts of things.
Yes, yeah. Well, that was extraordinary, because actually there was another taboo subject which surfaced.
Yeah.
We were looking at 1930s Germany. I think that's where all the themes came from. Yes, absolutely. But a lot of dark stuff came out, a lot of mental health issues came out, as well as huge creativity.
Yeah, a massive amount, and it was such a lot of good source material to do visuals from that it was just brilliant, and I loved the show. But I adored working with the elders group. I really loved doing that in Camden.
Yeah.
We just did sort of research, didn't we, on improv and things like that, and I had such a good time with them, honestly. I remember being quite nervous of working with them when I first drove along to get there, and I was like, oh gosh, what's it going to be like to work with these guys? And I adored it, and I learnt so much from them, and hopefully they learnt something from me as well. Because that's when you get to connect with people.
Yes.
And I'm all about connection, really. I thrive on connection.
Yeah.
So that's, I love that. I mean, I love when the lights come on and, you know, the music comes up and it's like, there you go. And it's such a proud moment for everybody. I love that moment. But yeah, I like the process. What else? Do you know what the stuff in Redbridge Drama Centre?
I think are you talking about Pieces of Ourselves?
Yes, things like that. And where how the workshops led to that, exploring just using newspapers and making, I think we made a film with Ellie and a scratch film, Snow White, and just sort of did some strange things there. It was,
I know what you mean.
And it just all went, I think you're right, it went towards Pieces of Ourselves, and that, and Ellie's big velvet cream cloak. Oh, such a perfect vision. A lot of my work involves, is actually exploring connection.
Okay.
And threads, and connection with yourself, connection with other people, connection in this age of technology where we're doing that all the time. So I'm just going to do a mini version of something like that.
That'd be amazing.
So you're going to have to be in it.
Okay. What do you want me to do?
I'm not quite sure yet.
Okay.
So I think you need to come with me, otherwise it's meaningless.
Okay.
It needs to be meaningful. Oops. That's you. Okay. So I'm going to start the thread from going behind you where this little pipe is. Let's go right over to those hooks. Okay. Okay, good. And then I'll put another one. So, just gonna link you to the chair, excuse me, maybe go around your, tie you in. Camera and Victor. Victor, could you take that around your camera somehow? Great.
Challenging.
Very dexterous. I'm just gonna show that we were having a chat here as well. I better tie myself to you for a while, otherwise it's not equal. We like equal.
And together.
And being together. And that was our journey. Well, it was your journey mainly.
Yeah.
But that was the threads that show.
It obviously brings out lots of chat and discussion when you do this with all sorts of different people.
Yeah. I don't know, you might ask them, how does it feel to be, it's sort of semi-tied into the chair?
Yes.
And what does that mean to you? And what does that feel like in life? Or, Is it okay that you're like that?
Well, you see, my head instantly went to sex, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it was a bit sexual, yeah. But we do go there with Spare Tyre sometimes, don't we? We like to go there.
Oh my goodness,
the workshop. And then just the obvious phrases of who's here and being very real.
Yeah. Why, how have you come to those phrases in particular? She was here. She travelled here. She is here now.
I think I relate connection to time and past, present and future. So we might have gone on to do she's going over there, but you wouldn't be there. So I could actually throw it, couldn't I? If I release a bit of the string and we pretend there's a piece of paper that says she might go over there, that would represent that. And that's our installation.
To a future or a past.
Or a potential.
Or a potential. I've never been in an installation before.
There's the first one.
There you go.
This is where she is. Right here. She's still here.
It makes you feel very important.
You are important.
To be in a chair, even wrapped in string. Makes you feel very important.
She's important.